what I feel. Just I feel like I have some possibilities to do some stuff, but I must organize myself. That is the most important stuff about everything. Try to organize yourself in the best way how you can with this kind of support of what you have from hosting organizations, sending organization, people who live around you, your society. That is my feeling. You must organize yourself in some situation. That is some kind of task, how I can tell maybe, task. You have now task to adapt yourself and organize yourself for the future.
I learned many things, and maybe with time I will realize that I'm like that now because of this EVS experience.
And obviously you've got different laws, different cultural ways of life to take into consideration.
I feel a bit more self-confident, if I can say, after 6 months.
What I I build myself personally.
I discovered Bulgaria, also I discovered Spain here.
We have a lot of things in common with Bulgarians, and of course we have difference. I love both.
If you don't travel, you have only one kind of insight. If you go travel, you have other experience, so you can compare these experiences, and that way you can learn more about yourself also.
Me and Bella, it's in the same project.
We are a terrific team.
In the same project, but I really don't know what is the name of the project.
Job in the festival is prepare some activity. Finally, I focus in make one day about the wine, because Sandusky is famous in Bulgaria for the wine. I thought it's interesting for the region and for the festival, make some activity about the wine and make a promotion for the region. And also show the people that it's possible mix the tradition and it's possible it's not boring. Make some activity. Also, I hope the activity happening 2 days ago. My idea is the mix between tradition and modern.
The last days I was helping another volunteer, a Spanish guy, José, with preparing a wine festival, or at least a wine show. For me it was really challenging because it involved something very physical, like manual work, and I'm not so good at it, so for me it was nice. And then it was also about mediating between him, that is Spanish, and the Bulgarian people.
Really, I find here the Balkan time, the same with the other volunteers. All is so slow, or there's no problem, all time is chaque Marco.
We arrived in a completely new world with new flatmates. We have to make new friends, learn a new language, be in a new organization. So it takes a little time to adapt.
I wasn't worried because I think that we are young people and we are capable of doing things. If we gather together, if we create a team, I think that everything is possible. So I was just worried about my luggage that will be lost during flight.
I like the difference from my own country. I think a change was good. It's good to come across and sort of bring your own culture across and experience new cultures at the same time.
I changed really my form of my life.
It's just a language barrier.
It's like all people say is there isn't work for the volunteer really. All time in internet, Facebook is the best.
I was not expecting it to be like this, honestly, and so there was a little bit of a coping moment, and I kind of got more into it.
The mentors should really be outside the organization because there are some cases of conflicts. And sometimes the volunteers feel left alone because the mentor is from the organization, so it's difficult to communicate. And it's difficult enough to arrive in a new organization because they work already, they have methods. But for volunteers there is another barrier, which is the language. And so I think the mentor should really be outside, and also I think if possible, because I know it's a financial problem, but there should be more language courses because sometimes it's not serious enough, and some volunteers spend a lot of time in Bulgaria and they don't learn Bulgarian. It's a problem if you live here for a long time. You can't really feel included. Of survival, it's a matter of doing what we like, working for a cause.
The thing that you want to be done. This is also part of what I think is most important, this civic participation, this participative democracy or participative citizenship, for people to take upon themselves the will to do something that is not imposed by society or by the thing that they have to do because they have to work or they have to blah blah blah. But they wish to engage themselves, they wish to do something because they think it's a good thing. So this could be for ecology or for anything that's connected to the social sphere. That's the spirit.
food, all these sirene. This is, for me, it's because it's possible. I don't find good restaurant, but all the time is sirene or cucumber.
Didn't understand many things. It was like I was searching for answers everywhere. Like those posters with the dead people. At the beginning, I didn't know what it meant. Or the martinica, those little bracelets, this Bulgarian tradition.
You see all these stray animals going around, and people just kind of like ignore them and shoo them away. So I'm a big animal lover at heart. So.
Rester dans mon fauteuil, mes envies auraient trop couvert d'un linceul. Sur le seuil de sa porte, je rêve, je sais pourquoi, je sais pour qui, je ne sais pas où je vais, mais je vis. Non, visible dans ce décor.
It's getting more and more famous to be a volunteer, and maybe Bulgaria is considered as an exotic country, so recently the interest of volunteers coming to Bulgaria is increasing.
One general problem for this country is that we don't have a real youth policy. So there is no such thing like good working youth programs that finance youth initiatives. So many of the organizations dealing with young people are totally voluntary ones.
EVS is a challenge for every hosting organization because it's a way to finance the activities of the organization. And it's not really easy when you do it only with a budget for EVS. We are trying to avoid the taking off the accreditation because we're not having that much hosting organization.
Sometimes lack of activities is a real problem.
Sometimes the organization doesn't fit the volunteer, sometimes the volunteer doesn't fit the organization. And then in the different cases we're trying to find the better solution, the best solution for the problem, and sometimes we move the volunteer to another organization and sometimes the volunteer just is going home, and finding another project because when your project is not really successful, you can do it again in another country, in another organization, so it's not the end of everything.
Maybe if it's not for you, you will go back, and that's it.
You can see the result, it's tangible. You can see the people, you can see the change, but also the influence on the hosting organization and the sending organization is tangible. So I believe that EVS will remain in the new program.
If you look back in the activities that you've done or the life you have lived here as foreign EVS volunteer in Bulgaria, for sure you will find some really positive things for your personality, for your future job, not only because you try to learn a different language, but also because you know how to get over the life alone and how to be a winner. Everybody is a winner here because they learn to be alone to get over problems, and it's enough.
In the beginning I came with a lot of motivation, but then ceramics, pottery, always the same. After a few months I was empty of energy because every day you go, you reload, you say let's do it, and then in the end it's like, oh, you do ceramics. We made our boss understand that we are really sick of it and we don't understand why we are not doing this, what we are actually doing now.
It took a long time before this clash came, and when we said that we were disappointed, they also strove back to us like a counter that we're also disappointed, and they were having a really big clash.
You also learn to persuade and to continue to persist in if you really want to do something, because in the beginning you were a bit too soft on it because you want to keep good relations, and then you kind of avoid confrontations, and this is what we learned, that you will have this confrontation anyways. So it's better to do it in the beginning, that this bomb or whatever grenade is smaller.
We've been doing more than all the previous months, I think. But it's more or less up to you to make something out of your time here, because if you don't take initiatives, you can just do this EVS for 1 year and not really accomplish anything.
The disappointment is gone, and I'm really happy now.
I was afraid that I'm going to be alone. You know, you don't know anyone in the new country, and then the language. I had no clue about Bulgarian before I came here, so yeah, in the beginning it was quite difficult, but we had the first training. I met a lot of new people, and after that it went quite well.
It was not easy in the beginning, because it wasn't easy to accept what's going on, and my way of doing things is different. I don't know, I think it's the same like for most of the people who come in Bulgaria, maybe in Balkan.
It's normal to have a period when you're more like want to go home, and you feel somehow yourself like an alien.
In Lithuania, I all the time was surrounded with people. He had a lot of friends or relatives I can talk with, and it was like totally different situation. Like I changed my I made a challenge to try to live alone, like to test myself, but it wasn't in a good way.
When you have to face some changes of environment, some changes of language, culture, or whatever, some massive change around you, because it makes you conform to these norms. Somehow you have to, because otherwise you won't survive.
It wasn't easy, and this price is quite huge, and I think you can get the same experience if you're living in another country. But what is different between that and this opportunity to stay here, that you don't need to worry about your food, about your rent, and even you never know what's going on in the financial way in organization. So you're just taking it a bit easy, and I think it's really good chance to come down and just to research your life, your direction.
I think when you get started with such a program, you want to save the world. And for most of the volunteers, they are coming like they are going to change radically things in the country, and they are going to save Bulgaria. But I think it's normal to have such an attitude, but after a time you realize that it's good to have an idea what you want to do and to make this project, but it's at least as much as important as to socialize, to learn about the culture and language.
Today I can accept more easier differences between people. I wasn't able to accept all person because I was judging people a lot. Because I was feeling myself strong in many ways, and I was able to say, I'm right, you're not right, it's like that, it's not like that. But I proved for myself that anything is right, and even I was right, but now I choose other direction to act for people.
It's really nice. It's not really useful if you want to have some working experience.
I wasn't working with kids because it was no kids, and maybe for 3 or 4 hours a day I was scanning a paper.
To be disappointed, I learn a lot of stuff like this, and to be patient for nothing. Yes, it's what I learned. It's like a Buddhism experience.
From diary I see more than half of time I was maybe sad or disappointed by things, and maybe when more than half of time you are sad or bad and you want to leave, so it's not good.
For me it was really question, what is the main sense of making this EVS and to spend such a huge amount of money?
Choose carefully your project on the database, don't be in rush, because it's a good program, but if you choose carefully your project.
Yeah, I became too addicted in this year in this kind of life. So how they can prepare prepare me to come back in my country, in my society, or they worry about that, and I would love to get this answer, please. It's not easy to leave it now, because tomorrow I don't know what I'm doing.
A supervisor said, it's your mentor, we met, we talked a bit. She's a very busy person, you can meet with her if you have a very big problem.
I have the very good mentor, the best mentor. Sometimes I'm jealous about my mentor, because girls have also the mentor. Me and Bella share the same mentor, but second two girls have another mentor, and the moment when I see my mentor to speak with these girls who is not mentor of my mentor, I come and tell, what are you doing, Diana? You cannot speak with these people, you cannot speak with my mentor. Go find your mentor and speak with your mentor. Ciao, goodbye.
She was like some kind of mentor, because she can't be a mentor because she's from project. She was helping me like few times, she like took me to a disco, but it was not so good.
It's not possible to be unsatisfied, to be unhappy. I know some people who left, but for sure they get so many things that they need to be happy with that experience, so it's just experience.
The traffic is quite horrible. I now have a bike, and sometimes I'm quite afraid. The street dogs, in Germany we don't have street dogs, or at least I didn't see any in my hometown, so, and especially when they chase me when I'm on my bike, it's quite frightening. And the police, actually, it's also something that made me cry, how the police works here. We met 14-year-old prostitutes, and we can't do anything because her pimp would fuck with us, and the police is not doing anything, because when the police comes, he just gives the police money and police wanders away. And also the same with places where they sell heroin.
One thing that surprised me is that Bulgarians are very relaxed
And I thought it was like, I don't know, something that Spanish are famous for. But I found out that Bulgarians, they are even more relaxed with, I don't know, like deadlines. Oh, don't worry. For me it was very good to have this in common, but a bit exaggerated here.
I'm feeling with Bulgarian, by the way, and it's really nice.
Černi vrh, Suomi. All the best.
It's not near.
Important thing I learned here, that it's not everything is you can't judge by the outlook, especially here, because there are so many great things that are hidden under the surface, and these things are maybe even more important. You can learn a lot, I think, if you come to a different country from the local people. I find the people here very open and very positive people, and somehow maybe because they live among more hard circumstances, they can appreciate the things more than the people I know more Western countries.
I get new ideas for my life in Bulgaria because I found Bulgarian people and the mentality in different way and less capitalistic, which is really nice for me because my country growing on that, and I can see people which are running on like they are users, more or less. Maybe I'm still judging, you know, but I'm trying to have objective image. It's still everywhere like that. I think even for you, for me, for you, or for you, whatever. It's and what in Bulgarian people, they don't have many things in this material way, but they still have strong connection in the nature, in communication, people to people in life.
So you can decide for yourself if you want to live in the West, where you know the conditions of living are better, but maybe people are a bit more egoistic, or I don't know how to say this, more conserved, more closed. Or you want to travel to the east and meet with more warmer or more open-minded people. I think we must find some kind of balance, and that maybe yes, it's a possibility to learn something from the other culture and to adopt it.
walkie-talkie.